Well, as nature bursts into bloom, and so do the allergies that can wreak havoc on our sinuses. But fear not. Today, we're joined by our Cari-Med's brand manager of Cari-Med Group Ltd, Stephen Reid, and pharmacist Venessa Smith to learn more about those allergens lurking in the spring air and share valuable tips on surviving the allergy season. Plus, they'll introduce us to their line of DPH products designed to alleviate the symptoms and help us breathe easier. Welcome, and of
this
course,
one is really personal to
this
Denise.
is very personal. I had to do away with the contact lenses because my eyes were very swollen up to on the weekend. I've been going through it. I did not influence this segment in any way. But I've been going through it for the last couple of weeks.
But let's talk about it. I'm actually going to jump straight to Venessa for this one.
Okay.
This is the season, as Dennis said, where a lot of people are triggered by things in the atmosphere. What's happening? What are these triggers?
All right, so these triggers can be due to pollen, dust, can be due to mold, can be due to probably things from their pets, like pet dander, which is really just dead skin cells from pets, can be due to medication, and even food can contribute to some of these allergies that we're seeing.
Okay. What are some of the things, I mean, before we get into the pharmaceutical solutions, what are some things that we can do maybe to kind of reduce the impact?
So typically, once you know what are the triggers, you can, for example, persons that are allergic to dust, they can try to clean the house more frequently, weekly, try to change their bedding weekly. AC unit and the fans also contribute to a lot of the dust. And so try to clean your AC units more frequently. I typically recommend 4 to 6 weeks, the fans every week, or every other week at least. For persons who might be allergic to their pets, you want to probably
get rid of the pet.
Maybe that's a bit drastic. That's a bit drastic, but what you can do is probably bathe the pet more frequently. You want to wash your hands right after handling your pet, and you try not to keep the pet too close to you in terms of sleeping with the pet in the bed. So those are just some of the things that we can do.
Dennis mentioned that his eyes were bothering him. There are people out there who may be having allergic responses, not realizing that they're allergies. What are some of the other ways that allergies can manifest in people?
All right, so, you know, in addition to what you just mentioned, you have sneezing, some persons get stuffy nose, some persons have what you call like probably itching. They might have runny nose. Some persons might experience a little sore throat.
Right.
So
like
those are just, yes,
So
a scratchy sore throat.
for 1 week, I don't even know if the listeners were aware, like I was having, my left eye was just running. Constantly, just running.
Yes.
And then the following week, it was just extremely dry. Just like dry, like to the point that my contacts couldn't stay in. And so last week was the dry week. The week before was the very runny week. And in the middle of last week, I went home and I just opened the medicine cabinet and I just grabbed the DPH. I didn't even look which one it was. No, so my question then is, there are different products, DPH products for different purposes.
Stephen, walk us through those.
Well, I'm glad Dennis mentioned his medicine cabinet, because we're here to speak about that, you know, and all these things that you need for your medicine cabinet. So when we talk
We
about...
never look, we just
Grab.
But as you can see, one of the key items, especially for allergies under the DPH brand, is the elixir and the sinus. Both of them target sneezy, and you have itchy and watery eyes, as well as nasal congestion and runny nose, right? Which are some of the typical symptoms that Jamaicans experience when it comes to allergies, right? But apart from those as well, we have a wide variety of products also under the DPH and Cetamol brand that can target especially the cold and flu, right? So we really want to ensure that Jamaicans have all the essentials they need for their medicine cabinet. And you know, DPH is a choice, just as Dennis mentioned. And in fact, Dennis actually can share the sentiments with you, because I was on an interview a couple years ago and my eyes began to run water.
And the host thought you were crying for them.
Yeah, I just felt very passionate about interviewing, you know? So,
you really sold the product.
You know? So.
You know what? On the screen there, we actually had the elixir, what was the other one?
And the sinus, the DPH.
Sinus, but then somewhere in the middle they meet and you have the expectorant. The expectorant is what I go through the most in my house with my daughter, because her classroom is a petri dish of germs. So the expectorant covers a little of both, you know? Walk us through the Cetamol products, because we went through the DPH on screen a while ago, and I'm seeing Cetamol at the top of the cabinet here.
Yeah.
What's available to us there?
So we're going to just write here, over here. So, you know, we have our cetamol, cold and flu, right? This is the daytime, right, for the green.
Yeah.
But also have available in the 20s. And so that's 51s. And also have cetamol migraine, right?
I was going to ask because I don't know that.
So it's actually it's a new look, right? It's used to cetamol plus, rebranded to cetamol migrine. But kind of with some layman terms that Jamaicans are used to. Sinus, migraine, very easy.
Yes,
you go into the
As
go
it
to a
should
pharmacist,
be.
Vanessa tell one of the fancy words, and you say, what that mean?
Yeah. May I have the
That's it.
language of origin, please?
Yeah. You know? And then we also have, especially for menstrual, let's just touch on it for the women as well.
Right.
You know, and then also multi-symptom, and then the one that Jamaicans talk about the most, extra strength, the cetamol extra strength. You know, after allergy time, we know what season comes next, right? So those are we have under the cetamol brand there.
Definitely. It's so important, I think, from the perspective of the Cari-Med Group to give people options so that they're not taking the wrong things for the wrong purposes. And I really appreciate that, a very nuanced, very specific design of the products. I mean, are we getting, from a pharmaceutical perspective, so much better at designing better medication for very specific purposes? Like, it's not just branding, is it? It is actually
Tailored
greater
to the-
specificity.
yeah.
Yes, I think so, because you see the marketing team, they go out and they do their research and they come back to us and we do our product development and try to meet the needs of the Jamaican public. And integral to that is the Ministry of Health, which we have to go through to do our approval. So yes, I would say we are getting it.
There you have it, That's the real deal.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much.
And just before I finish, as you said, just follow our social media page, FP Wellness JA, and you can learn how much more about different type of allergens and how you can cure them and different symptoms. We want to educate Jamaica, right? We just want to ensure, take this, we want to know you're taking the right thing. All right, Dennis? Make sure you're taking the
Don't just reach in the cabinet. All right, Steve?
Yes, definitely.
All right, good stuff. That was Stephen C. Reid, brand manager at Cari-Med Group, and the C in Stephen don't stand for Cari-Med. And pharmacist Venessa Smith. 'Tis the season for events. The Edna Malley College of the Visual and Performing Arts will tell us more after the break. Stay with us here.